here in Alanson, Michigan with Tim Rostar, and today is April 30th, 2015, and Tim's made another engine that he wants to tell us about. What do you have here today, Tim?
Well, this is an engine I started working on in 1991, and I got about a quarter.
1991?
Yeah.
Gosh, that's wild.
I got about a quarter of it done. It sat in the top of that chest for 23 years or something, and anyway, I decided it was time to get back to this engine, and at that time it was just the cylinder jugs and the flywheels and part of the block and the crank were done, and that's just kind of a roughed out deal. And it's always been my dream to build a twin cylinder engine that's like a John Deere, so it fires twice in one revolution, and that's how you get that blah, 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 blah. I love that torquey noise, and I just always thought the opposed engine design reminds me of the New Way engine made in Lansing in the turn of the century, and that was part of it too. I for the configuration of both rods on one throw of the crank and having opposed cylinders, it's the same thing as a John Deere that has two cylinders side by side with two throws 180 degrees off. So it's like the same thing, just a different configuration. So
did you have a set of plans for this, or did you just do it with what you knew in your head and how you wanted to make it happen?
No, this is all just my dream and in my head. It's a build as you go, and I think I'm pretty happy with it because I really got it right, and I didn't have to remake too much of anything.
Does it run?
It runs. It runs.
Well, let's see it. Let's see it go putt-putt.
Let me explain some stuff, and I'll run it to you. But basically, I'll just kind of point things out what they are, because let me get a pointer here. But anyway, this is a throttle governing engine. And in other words, it's not the hit and miss. This fires every time, and it's got a carburetor that throttles up when you put a load on it. And that's what these little balls here do. If you look down, you can see the linkage in there. It's operating the carburetor throttle. And so basically,
and they expand on centrifugal force?
Yep, it senses the speed with centrifugal force and throttles it up when you put a load on it to try to slow it down, and it'll automatically give it more gas so it will fight the load. And anyway, the mufflers are made from salt and pepper shakers, and the reason why I did that is because they're so close to the original, to the error. And this engine's like an engine of about 110 years ago, turn of the century type engine, stationary type power plant engine that were real custom. And but the basically it does have a distributor, except for I've got it off now. Which a distributor just requires one coil, one ignition system, but for troubleshooting purposes, I decided to put two coils to do away with a distributor, because I thought the distributor was crossfiring and causing running problems, but I found out it really wasn't that much of a problem, so I'll be putting the distributor back on just because I like the detail, and it's cool, and it's functional. But anyway, down here's the gas tank, and it's the filler neck right here, and then there's a little line down right in there is the jet for adjusting the carburetor mixture, and of course right there's the throttle for throttling up the throttle. And the gas tank's a brass tank, holds about 3 ounces right underneath here. And down at the top of the engine, if you want to get an idea, it's all open crank. It's back when they didn't have a crankcase. You just greased the rods and main bearings, and you could see the cams for the one cylinder, and here's the cam and fowler for the other, and so it's and these here are the oilers, the oil the pistons. It's like a drip oiler. About 1 drop every 10 minutes is about at least that much. And then I have electronic ignition systems on here, which I think is the only way to go now. And what I have on the other side is I got a Hall effect sensor that is triggered by rare earth magnets, which is just a great way to go. I used to make them with buzz coils and regular, but it's just, if you got a good ignition, you've got by far less problems in running your engine. So, and it's more compact, and she runs good. I'm still kind of refining it, and it's still a new thing in the making. Let me I already greased up the bearings, but I'm going to get a little oil on the cams, and just like to take good care of them. I got a lot of work in machining these parts, and we'll
And the gas you use is Coleman white gas?
I'm using Coleman Lantern fuel white gas.
Yeah.
Because it's gasoline works good, but it just stinks and it carbons things up really quick. So I found out that the Coleman fuel is the stuff to use. It's just the modeler's choice, and I like it. And it suits this engine really good. I've tried a bunch of different... Oh, I'm going to put some fuel on. I knew there was something I was going to do. Because I have been running it, and I know it's running out of fuel. It's my little gas cap, which was a lot of work. Wow, it was. There's a story behind that gas cap. I screwed around with it, and finally I just, well, let me see. I can't see. There it is. Okay. There. There we go. There's some gas in there, and it holds 3 ounces or 3.5 ounces. Here's a little gas cap. Goes on quite nice. And that's my intake manifold right there too. That brass pipe goes to the bottom of that cylinder and goes over the other side, and it tees where the carburetor is. And the valves here are stainless steel, and the intakes are automatic. You don't have to have a lifter and a cam for that. The suction of the piston sucking the fuel and air will suck the valve open. But the exhaust valve up here has to be mechanical, and so it simplifies it, and it works real well. So we'll fire it up. Might run a little cold-throated, but we'll see. Sometimes she runs beautiful. And I'll get her running, and I'll cut some wood with it. I'm choking it right now. Oh, let me hook up the battery. There you go. You can see the governor dance right down here too. I'm going to go ahead and give her a run here. Oh, fire it up again. She's cold-throated. I should let her warm up.
And the belt may be slipping a little bit.
Yeah, the belt's slipping, but it's not doing too bad with you got a giant here pushing this wood through, and I'm going faster than... See if I can warm her up. I'll put a load on the shaft here. Yeah, I can tell she's a little bit cold-throated. She's a little... I'm going to let her warm up a little bit because I don't want to change it. Oh, all right. We're going to do a quickie here, and then I'm going to... I can tell you what I need to do is shut the jet and open it back up. In this Coleman fuel, there's little teeny hairs, and it's bizarre, but you can't see them, but they plug up the setting screw. It's really weird, Most people, I haven't seen it, but I believe the way it's acting, as soon as I do that, it's not a problem anymore, It's going to be a little rich now. We'll let her unload. See, we'll give her a little test here. Isn't that beautiful? Listen to that. That's the John Deere noise I love. I live for it. Now let's see if we can cut wood. The belt is slipping, but it'll really buzz the wood. Hey, we'll do another one. It's just like if I could tighten this belt up, it would be no problem. I'd zip through, but I'm being gentle with it. Oh. There you go. See, sometimes it works good. I need a bigger piece of wood. She's rolling. Here we go, man. this is really hard wood, but I have zipped through this wood, but it's working, and I'm going to let this thing load again. I'll show you.
We got a nice 10-minute video here. So
is this still running?
Try to wrap it up here though.
Alrighty, look at that, you guys. I love it. All you people on the Facebook.
There it is.
It's hard to believe I'm still single, ain't it?